Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is turn 35, the first turn of the war against Niffleheim, and we're starting from the top because I think you'll want to see the events in real time with me. So, we completed level 3 research and alteration, which is great, and we had several battles. Battle in Giant's Rest. This is the throne, which is basically undefended, just a little tiny bit of province defense. So you'll get to see how the Skelespam works a little better here now that I have two Buddhas, both pretty high level, 3 death and 4 death there. They're casting their buff spells, getting their stone skin up, and now come the hordes of skeletons. Hordes and hordes and hordes of skeletons. And you may notice, 3 death, he has 40 fatigue. With 4 death plus the regen items, he has 25 fatigue. And after another round, now he has 29 fatigue. It builds up very, very slowly. He's got 14 plus. He's only gained 4. So that is going to last for a good long time. Those skeletons and undead and zombies and all are just going to keep on coming. And the enemy has already run away from the endless hordes of the dead. So, we captured Giant's Rest, no casualties. In Welrid, this is the fort, I believe. Yes, this is fort province defense, but not much of it. It looks like they do have an adventurer here. Interesting. And some Jotun militia and a Jotun hearse. So, once again, no defenses. Caught them completely with their pants down. So, the giants are going to come in on us, and well, they are not going to like this. I don't care how big they are. Sorry, buddies. 3 giants are not qualified to take on this many skeletons. That is just more of the dead than any 3 individuals can plan to take. Yeah, they didn't even kill any. In Elderhill, there was a battle. I'll look at that in a second. There was a battle in Glade Woods. This is the army. Okay, so this is my main army arrayed in all its glory. Or, well, most of its glory. Got lions, got elephants on the flanks, got our infantry kind of ranked up at the front. And we have our pygmies scattered along back here. Once again, just a little bit of province defense. So we're casting some basic spells here. We are not casting spells that require gems, which is good. And the Blizzard of Arrows comes down. Doesn't actually have much effect because these guys do have shields. When you have fire arrows, they will be much more effective. We're getting a little bit of friendly fire, it looks like. But it's over. So, in Glade Woods, we did lose a Rhino clan, I think probably to... Nope, not to friendly fire, because the archers didn't actually get any kill. Oh, the pygmies got 1 kill. Okay, that might be friendly fire. And in Bakar, once again, we have the Buddha teams going in, the A teams, against minor province defense. And you've seen it before, same thing, different province, just hordes and hordes of skeletons. This is why Skelespam is considered dangerous, because against light defenses like this, there just is no way to stop it. Okay, we need more troops in Welrid, that I expected. We've completed our palisades. They are unexpected events. In Bakar, we found some gems. In Agraria, we lost the temple. That sucks. And in Fukan, we lost population, which also kind of sucks. In Elderhill, Yomi attacked Tianxi and won. Wow. Now this I've got to see. Because this was their army. This was Tianxi's big, bad army. 135 archers, 64 warriors of the 5 elements, 3 celestial masters, their powerful, slow-to-recruit capital mages, plus the masters of the dead. Okay, so Yomi came in. These are all chaff. They have a whole bunch of wolves as chaff. They have a great bear. Interesting. So they've been like summoning animals or something. Some of whom are diseased and starving. Boars, yeah, they've been summoning a whole lot of animals. They have a whole lot of their really big, tough demons. They have 3 Dai Onis, who don't actually have any equipment, but they do have a couple gems scattered around, it looks like. And they have Misako the Chunari, and then they have their... Where are they? There they are. They have the Oni Shugos, and they have a lot of Oni Shugos. And the Oni Shugos might all have 1 death gem. So what are the Oni Shugos? Those are Kuro Oni. What are the Oni Shugos doing with 1 death gem, I wonder? Yep, they've got 1 death gem each. Interesting. They also have a couple of sorcerers with 1 death gem, and they have a demon general. Okay. They're casting Bolt of Unlife. Interesting. I think they might all be casting Bolt of Unlife. Okay, so here's the Tianxi army. They've got... That's a Celestial Master. You can see Celestial Masters have a whole lot of paths, mainly water. They have some water gems there. They also have some Masters of the Way, which are kind of low-level mages. He has Astral Magic? I didn't know Masters of the Way got Astral Magic. I guess they must just have Astral Magic now. He's horror marked, though. Has this player been empowering in Astral or something? That's weird. Okay. So, lots of archery being exchanged. You can see my computer starting to struggle a little bit. And here come the Bolts of Unlife. And so where the Bolts of Unlife land, they are converting the people they kill. Oh... And Shadow Blast. So they did get a couple skeletons out of that, a couple of soulless. There are lots of little fires being shot around. That's a max size Earth Elemental. There's Water Elementals being summoned. Chaos, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. Those Shadow Blasts are wreaking havoc. Okay, the Oni Shugos are going ham on this archer line. And just tons of fireballs coming out from the demons. Let's speed things up a little bit. Yeah, the Tianxi's army has already had the guts torn out of it just by Shadow Blast, basically. The Oni are taking casualties from banishment because holy magic works against their ghost forms. That looks like the wad's been shot, pretty much. But, so it's not big spells being thrown around anymore. Those Oni Shugos... Oh no, the Oni Shugos are fatigued out. They might come back and do some more. They might all just be casting Frighten, I guess. But yeah, at this point, the infantry line is gone. What little of it survived is running. Now the demons are retreating. And the only thing that's standing its ground are mages who have fatigued out. So that is... And the Demons of Heavenly Rivers, which are ethereal and berserking at the moment. Oh, they must have etherealized them. I didn't notice. And they have morale 99 because they are berserking. So, yeah. That was an impressive little alpha strike there with the Shadow Blasts. That was very good play. Notice, the Oni Shugos, 57 kills. The Dai Onis, 31 kills. It was the Dai Onis, I think, who were throwing the Shadow Blasts. So... Yeah, wow, he lost 2 Celestial Masters, he lost several other mages, and just a crap ton of troops, 2/3 of the army in total. While on the Yomi side, mainly they lost free spawn. In fact, I think they lost entirely free spawn and spawned animals, and a good half their casualties were Ko-Onis, and Ko-Onis are not valuable, and they're easy to replace. They didn't lose any of the Kuro-Oni, and they only lost a couple of the regular Oni. So... they haven't really taken any significant losses here. In combination with the attack from Baratos, I think Tianxi is in trouble. Really, I do. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to make some moves, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so I think I've got my moves set up. So, real quickly, this... is evidence that Niffleheim did realize what I was about to do, just a little bit too late. He saw the army, he started moving to defend, and he ended up with an army of 50, mainly skin shifters and herdmen. So that's actually a pretty significant army. Skin shifters are very, very dangerous, because of course they turn into werewolves after they die. However, being giants and being shieldless, they are pretty vulnerable to archers. So, I'm setting up a little bit of an ambush. It's only kind of an ambush. It'll be about 100 and some units, about half infantry and half pygmies in this province here. I am moving the Buddhas out. All the Buddhas are hitting this province. That might actually not be a good idea. I may actually want to move all my Buddhas in for support reasons. Basically, I don't know which way this army is going to swing. It could go here if it's trying to attack me and force a defensive reaction. It could go over here if it's trying to attack this army and betting that it won't move. Or it could go up here if it's just trying to reinforce this fortress. And really, I can't tell which they will do. I need to talk to make sure we're coordinating, because I plan to hit over here. I need to keep taking provinces, basically. I'm going to keep taking provinces away from Niffleheim, keep stunting his income, keep damaging his ability to produce anything to stop me. I know he has a fortress there and there in Wolfen Plain. And those can keep producing things to fight me, but I think I should be able to shut him down pretty effectively down here if I can deal with this army. If this army runs into my army, it's toast. Absolutely destroyed, without question. If it runs into this force down here, that's a little iffier, which is why I'm thinking I may want the Buddhas. I'll have to, let me move them a little bit. I need to set them up so that the skeletons that they summon actually go around my troops so that they can be useful as chaff. And in order to do that, I need to put them in these flanking positions, which does sort of put them in harm's way. What do I mean, sort of? It very much puts them in harm's way, but they should be generating enough skeletons that it's not a big problem. And all the skeletons need to do, basically, is get in the way and prevent the skin shifters from smashing through my infantry and to get to my archers. I've also got this Buddha, Simai, moving up. Simai is wearing a pair of earth boots that I've just forged. My forging is still going full strength. He's going to cast Strength of Giants and then several earth melds in a bid to kind of gum the giants up. I'm not bothering to cast Legions of Steel because 3 extra protection on my protection 11 does not matter much versus giant strength hits. If skin shifters hit me, I'm liable to be dead anyway. It's probably a good idea to cast Legions of Steel in any case, but regardless, what I am doing is I'm also moving up Funny Guy, my god. I'm committing him to combat for the first time, and he is going to be casting Winter Ward, which is a water spell that provides protection from cold. So, against... I've also shifted my Buddhas over to casting Iron Skin instead of Stone Skin, because Iron Skin is vulnerable to lightning rather than cold, and Niffleheim has no lightning access. So, you can see Funny Guy here will be mist forming to prevent... Actually, they don't have any missiles. He doesn't need to mist form first. He can just cast the Winter Ward a couple of times. And then he can... after that, he can buff himself up, like Mirror Image, Mist Form. Dropping Numbness would actually be really, really good. He's only a level 2 Water Mage, but level 2 is enough for now. This will give away my strategy, but frankly, I assume that everyone already knows my strategy at this point, and this late in the game, it isn't quite as relevant. So, I do still have plenty of other Buddhas back here. I'm killing my Earth Gem stockpile this turn, forging Earth Boots, summoning some Ogres in order to provide some chaff. Badalini here is going to take that province away from Niffleheim. And I have another Lion Queen down here with no troops, but I am going to start her moving towards the front, where I am still summoning... or recruiting, rather, pygmies and frontline chaff. I may begin to switch over solely to using summoned chaff. I do have nature gems that I'm not really doing things with, and I could cast things like Pack of Wolves or Horned Serpents, because all I actually need is people to stand in front of the pygmies. Like, they don't have to be very good at their jobs, and it would let me recruit my pygmies up a lot faster. Much faster. If I didn't have to have any infantry in front of them. So that's actually probably a better idea. it will hurt my research, once again, to have mage turns be going to that, and my research is bad right now, like really bad, because I am spending so much time on that. But I think it's probably going to be worth it in order to keep the military train rolling. So over here, I don't have many death gems, so I can't do many death summons, but I can have Yaya summon some wolves, and Abasi summon some wolves, and Amini summon some wolves. That'll get me 30, like, worthless chaff. Actually, instead of wolves, probably summon horned serpents. They're at least meatier. They have more HP. Wolves really are pretty worthless. They die to anything. Horned serpents take longer about it. So yeah, let's summon up some horned serpents to serve as, or vinemen. Vinemen are the traditionals. I'll probably forge some ivy crowns pretty quickly here, and start summoning vinemen in a big way, because vinemen have relatively high HP. Down here, I'm forging some earth boots to boost up my earth magic. You can see Baratos has taken both of these provinces. Baratos might actually end up being my next target, if only because I'm actually positioned to fight him, whereas at the moment I'm not really positioned to fight Tianxi. But for right now, this is where all the action is. Like I said, I'm going to keep taking provinces. I'm jumping in here in the hope that he's going to attack this province to try and save the throne. He may well move this way in a bid to put my fort under siege or to relieve the siege of his fort. What I'm hoping, I won't be able to bust through this fort in one turn, because it is wall integrity 500. I don't have that much siege strength. The siege strength of this army is 267, which is enough to crumble this fortress in probably 2 to 3 turns. It does have 20 units inside it, and they are giant units primarily, so there's that, but I think I can take it. Those are Jade Sorceresses. I think one Skelespammer should be able to take out Jade Sorceresses, but just in case, I'm actually going to assign Matwa and Harun to take that province, and Kibwana will take that province by himself because he is the level 4 Death Mage. So that's going to be the turn, folks. I will see you in turn 36, where the war will get even more interesting. The Alpha Strike was good. It succeeded at basically accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. But now comes the tough part where I have to actually fight. It is interesting that these provinces... I was seeing gray banners over these provinces somehow. So, that's interesting, but we'll see what's what. Anyway, take care. Alright, turn 36. Let's see how the attack on that fort went. Alright, we did some summoning. Battle in Glimmering Fields. He was attacking me. Okay. So that is... this is a spell. This is a spell that raises ghouls to attack a province. And since this is just a little bit of province defense, primarily Hoburg militia, I anticipate that the ghouls will win. Ghouls are not powerful units, but they are, you know, units. As opposed to Hoburgs, which are barely units. Yep. There it goes. Yeah, they lost 6 ghouls, but Niffleheim now owns the province, which is a problem. In Yildmire, Rus attacked Agartha with 1 Amazon. Interesting. In Omikria, Yomi attacked Tianxi and won with their Chunari Dai Oni and several Oni Shugos. In Welrid, I was attacked by Niffleheim. Okay, so this was all, I think, of the Gigjas breaking free. And they have lots of random paths and lots of blood slaves against my army. And are my Buddhas here? Where are the Buddhas? I don't see... Oh, right, I scattered the Buddhas. Maybe that was a bad call. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay. So I think they cast Swarm. So they've got a bunch of insects. They're etherealizing themselves. Have I cast Flaming Arrows? I should have. There's Flaming Arrows. Okay. So now the arrows are flaming. So 8 AP damage from the Flaming Arrows. for my pygmies. So let's see how effective that is. Reasonably effective, but many of the Gigjas, possibly all of them, are ethereal, so they probably won't be taking a whole lot of damage. Here come the elephants. The elephants with their trampling might be able to accomplish something. Yep, elephants are busting in. But they are taking some damage from the swarms. Yeah, the elephants are starting to go down. My infantry is moving in. They have flaming arrows going, and they have not been strengthed up, I don't believe. And some of my elephants are starting to rout through my infantry lines, which will cause a problem. It looks like I am losing. It looks like the hordes of the undead are starting to overwhelm me. And a lot of the infantry are routing back. The elephants are mostly routed. It doesn't look like I've killed too many Gigjas. And yeah, and then the skeleton critical mass has now built up. And I'm going to run out of ammunition fairly soon. So, lots of damage done, but not enough. Looks like, and I don't think I killed hardly any of the Gigjas. Possibly a couple. But let's see it out. Let's see who managed to escape. Okay, it looks like I routed... It looks like a good few of my archers got away. That's disappointing. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so the pygmies, that flaming arrows does work. They got 371 kills, but I only actually managed to kill 1 Gigja and 3 Jade Sorceresses. On the plus side, I didn't actually lose any of my mages. All that I lost were basically chaff. Rhino Clan warriors and pygmies. I did lose most of my war elephants, which is a pain, but probably recoverable from. Now let me see. Adnam, Nadif, Edie, Elias, Hassan, Kinda, Shayar, and Mpingo. They all retreated successfully. They did retreat to 2 separate provinces, unfortunately. In Endron, just real quickly, my were-hyenas attacked Niffleheim and won, including killing a Gigja. So that's good. I'll just watch this real quick, just to make sure that I know exactly how it went down. She etherealized, we earth-powered, iron-skinned, and skeletonsed. And the province defense, that giant actually just started falling back, interestingly. And we built up enough of a skeleton swarm that the Gigjas just couldn't stop us, it looks like. Yeah, these are nature... Ooh, that's a very powerful nature Gigja. So, or Gidja. So they're moss-bodied, but moss-body does not matter against the undead hordes. And then that ethereal will help keep her alive, but can only help so much, especially when completely surrounded. Hits do still get through body ethereal. So okay, we killed 1. In Endron, we won once again. Oh no, that was the same one I looked at. In Greenwoods, obviously we won because we just took that province. In the Towers of Heaven, we also won. In the Yellow Mountains, a Troll King unexpectedly attacked. And won. That's interesting. Okay, so we lost that province. And we had an earthquake in the God's Tomb Mountains. This, I think, is a spell. I think someone is casting that spell at me. In Anoria, Baratos captured a Chinshi province. Okay, so some successes, some failures. This is a problem. The fact that a lot of my army is trapped over on this side. I did not want that, but it's happened to me, and now I have to deal with it. That is Tiatsi the Abductor who radiates power. Ugh, gross. So wait, what happened in Yildmar? Oh, right. There was a battle there. And trolls have taken this province, which I've never seen before. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that's a random event or what. But what I need is, ironically, I need a better solution to skeleton spam. So, for that, I'm hitting Conjuration level 5 next turn. Then I'm going up construction. To deal with mass skeletons, actually I need evocations. Because evocations can take out skeletons very quickly. What I need is Blade Wind. Blade Wind takes out lightly armored skeletons en masse. And then at level 5 I have Falling Fires and Earthquake, which can also do the same thing, although not as effectively as Blade Wind. So what I need is evocation level 4 before construction. Okay. You claim that throne. However, overall, we're winning this war. This army is going to be very difficult to stop. This army is pretty hard to stop. My army was broken, but not entirely destroyed, so I still have plenty of room to recover. I did unfortunately lose most of my infantry, which is a problem. And this part of the army is going to be hard to recover. Because, you see, they are, you know, scattered on different sides. The Buddhas, fortunately, can sneak out of there very easily. The actual troops and the Voices of Lion may not be able to. I have a lab here, interestingly. He built a lab here. Ah, to build Jade Sorceresses. Okay. And that guy is going to be problematic. So, honestly, my best chance of escape... Well, first of all, these guys I can just sneak away. Like, that's not a problem. There is a Gigja there. I don't really want to take on a Gigja with just one Buddha. Although... yeah, in Endron it took 2 to overwhelm 2 Gidjas. Yeah, I don't want to... that's a temple that I would like to destroy. So I think I'm going to have you two sneak up this way. You 3 are actually going to attack this province again. Because if he doesn't think I'm going to attack the province again, he might not be defending against it. Honestly, it's a stupid plan, but it's the only way that these guys might possibly inflict some damage. So, these are going to fire at large enemy monsters. I forget if Gidjas are size 4 or size 3, but by targeting them, maybe I'll manage to do some damage early on. These troops, there's a Labyrinth of Skulls there, which is nice. These troops... where is... one second. No, that wrong. Oh no, the Lion Queen died. Crap. I lost Mpingo. I didn't notice that. Shoot. Well, that sucks. I had a whole bunch of my troops retreated here. Okay, that's 55 units. Okay. Barellini. So what I'm worried about here is he might actually counterattack with these units. I'm going to take this whole mess down to Glade Woods, or should I take... no, I'm going to take him up to High Peaks. Funny Guy is going to be good if I'm starting to face Niffle Giants and Niffle Jarls. But otherwise, probably not necessary. Kibuana. Can you move there? You can move there. Can you just move there? So what I'm concerned about is about these two forces combining on this province and then attacking my fort. Which they might, you know, well do. There's nothing that would stop them from doing that. I do have some chaff here that could definitely be useful. And I've got a couple pairs of earth boots. Down here, Hassan was forging. I might have a lot of water gems. I need Funny Guy. I don't necessarily need Funny Guy involved in the fighting. I'll get back to y'all once I've made my moves, which will take just a minute. Okay, I'm moving a little bit quickly because I don't have a whole lot of time to record. I think this is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to concentrate that army with Kibuana here in an effort to stop them if they attack in this direction. I'm going to get these troops up here and just kind of hold my ground Pandu is summoning some ogres. Actually, never mind summoning ogres. He's going to change shape and move up here to join them, because he has a lot of air magic with those... a lot of earth magic, sorry, with those earth boots on, and he might be able to keep my infantry in the fight. 7 units, 4 units, I only have 11 infantry. Actually, I take it back. It's not keeping the infantry in the fight he needs to worry about, it is getting some support on the battlefield. So he needs the Skull Staff. And he needs to be spamming out some skeletons. I'm going to give him as many of these archers as he can carry as well. Just so that they too can be shooting at the monsters. Without flaming arrows, they will not be terribly effective. But they might hopefully be effective enough. There is another strategy I can follow. I can suicide Buddhas in order to summon Lamashtas, which have magical weapons and are ethereal, and they probably won't attack the caster first. So what you can do is, you can have 2 or 3 casters, death casters, spamming out Lamashtas, and then retreat, assuming they survive. Since Lamashtas are neutral, you won't take the province if you win, but it is a way of killing enemy mages that can be useful. He's going to drop Legions of Steel. He's going to need to summon Earth Power first, actually. So we're going to summon Earth Power, Legions of Steel for the extra protection in case they're spamming skeletons at us. And then we're going to Skeletal Horde it up. Just in an effort to kind of keep us alive a little bit longer. He's likely to be able to retreat because he is fast and also fairly tough. I'm going to kind of station him... Actually, I should get him kind of behind things. Oh, I have Bodlini as well. Good. So we'll have Bodlini back here to the side. And Pandu over here to the side. And it'll all be good. That's a lie. It won't actually be good, but... Bodlini, I need you to move in order to help. If these guys attack, I'm going to lose this force, but I'll be able to put this fort under siege again. Actually, to be honest, I may just want to retreat. Kind of burns me up a little bit, but you've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, as they say. So, let's just pull back. You guys can stand your ground. This army can push forward. If they push into this pocket, that's fine. We'll let them have it. Is going to be taking chunks out of Niffleheim up here pretty soon, so he's not going to be able to focus entirely on me. And I'm going to get some commanders into this province to pick up my chaff that I am recruiting. And so that'll be good. I am going to actually continue summoning Horned Serpents or Vine Men. Can you forge? You can forge Ivy Crowns, can't you? Yeah, forge some Ivy Crowns. Just for laughs. And we'll start just crapping out Vine Men. For chaff purposes. Okay, so I think that is going to be the turn. We'll see how well it goes. I am also forging a Skull Mentor, just because my research is, of course, suffering, since I'm on a total war footing at the moment. And I would like to have more and better research. I have actually quite a decent little force down here, which I can afford to stop recruiting, and that'll give me some money to do something else, but I'm going to worry about that next turn. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is turn 37 of Once More Under the Breach, and things are definitely getting a little bit more interesting. As you see, I've got moves already all set up. The main news is that Niffleheim has, I believe, been set to AI. And one reason why I saw a message in the forum about it, and I think it's happened, partially because I actually captured Welrid. This was the fort province that I was moving my army back through, basically in an effort to escape. But he should have seen that coming and patrolled, by all means, and he didn't. Also, the troops that were up here have moved away. I have 2 Buddhas up here, and honestly, I'm just gonna start kind of taking provinces. Because as an AI, of course, his responses are going to be not very effective. Now, he does have Tiatsi the Abductor here, and 2 commanders. Tiatsi the Abductor is a hero and a pretty powerful one. I might be able to skelly spam him under, but I might also not. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to split these Buddhas up, actually, because I think one of them can take each of these provinces, unless there's a lot of province defense there. These are each Death 3. Well, Haroon isn't Death 3. So actually, I'll tell you what, let's give those to Haroon to guard him, and have Matwa go it alone. But with summoning Earth Power to give themselves more reinvigoration, Haroon has the Boots of the Messenger that already give him some reinvigoration. I think they're going to be able to swarm basic province defense under. The AI does tend to stack up province defense sometime, but you can see here the local defense of this province is 5 points or less. That's what this message, 1 officer and a few loyal henchmen, means. So I'm not too worried about it. In other world news, we can look at the messages. I've completed research in Conjuration level 5, which means I can now summon full-sized elementals in battle. And that, so I'm going to need to change, actually, the scripting for Zamzam. She needs Flaming Arrows, Iron Skin. Then she needs Phoenix Power up early to increase her magic there. And then she can summon full-sized Fire Elementals, which is probably a good idea. Now, why is it thinking that she'll run out of gems? Flaming Arrows requires 1. Iron Skin, Phoenix Power. Oh, she's going to have to spend at least 2 gems on Flaming Arrows, probably more, in order to keep her fatigue down. Okay. So it's saying she'll run out of fire gems there. I don't actually have all that many archers, so what I'm going to do is swap for her. I'm going to actually have her Phoenix Power first, then Flaming Arrows, which she can then do with no gems, or 1 gem maybe, and then she can summon Fire Elementals. Yeah, just 2 is fine, and then cast spells. I also now have access to the spell Howl, which is a pretty cool spell that summons wolves from everywhere to just swarm the enemy. And my death gem income is going up because I'm conquering or reconquering some of these death sites over here. I have claimed the throne. You can see there we've claimed the Throne of Spring. And so that will allow me to recruit Mages of Spring, which are slow to recruit, but have 2 air magic, which otherwise the only access I have to air magic is through my god. I do have Funny Guy forging some winged shoes with some of my many, many air gems. I am also sending water gems to Hinnom to trade for a bloodstone. A bloodstone is a blood and earth item, which Hinnom can forge, and I, of course, cannot because I have no blood magic, but I have a lot of blood slaves. Anyway, it's a blood and earth item that can that boosts your earth magic. Actually, to be honest, I have so many blood slaves, it might be worth empowering a Buddha in blood. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the Bloodstone requires 3 blood to forge. I could empower in blood to level 1 and then probably to level 2 pretty quickly, honestly. I mean, in 2 turns I could get up to level 2. Which would be interesting. That would unlock... I mean, I haven't done any research in blood magic because I'm not a blood nation. But, I mean, if I did, with 2 levels of blood, I could summon Demon Knights. With 3 levels of blood on a 3 Earth Buddha and a pair of Earth Boots, I could summon Father Ill-Earth. I'd have to get up to 5 blood in order to get Infernal Crusade. But, I mean, that might open up options for me for forging items. Boy, I don't know. Or I could bind fiery imps. Or, I mean, I could start, like, summoning some actual creatures. Which would be interesting. I'm not sure it's worth it, because my blood income is very low. I would have to start blood hunting, which I would need to commit mages to do that. And I would just have to be constantly empowering every mage I wanted to use. And I already have Unrest from the Buddhas, so it's probably not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. In any case, I'm paying him in water gems, which he can only use a very little, and I can't really use either, and I have a ton of, because my water gem income is fairly reasonably high. Not the best, but okay. Honestly, my income in nothing is really the best, it's just spread out over all of them. But I've done that, so I'll be getting a Bloodstone, and my plan is to stack Earth Boots and a Bloodstone on somebody, which gets him up to Earth 4. Actually, Earth 5. Then I can empower him, a Buddha with 3 Earth naturally, that is. Pardon my stutter. I can empower him in Earth once, and that will get me Earth 6. Earth 6 is necessary to cast Earthblood Deep Well, which also costs 80 Earth Gems, and it gives me 20 Earth Gems a month. So what I need to do is I need to get enchantment up. I'm hitting evocation level 4. I was going up to construction level 6. Actually, instead of empowering, the better choice is to get up to construction level 6 and forge a Staff of Elemental Mastery, which boosts all elemental paths. That's a little bit cheaper than empowering in Earth would be, especially it's cheaper in Earth Gems. And so that, well, I can use Funny Guy to do that if I give him a pair of Earth Boots. And with that, I can give that to a Buddha, stack all those boosters on a Buddha to give him Earth 6, and then cast Earthblood Deep Well as soon as I hit Enchantment 7. I will have to alchemize some Earth Gems, probably, but I can do that in a big hurry because I have a ton of Air Gems and a ton of Water Gems that I'm not using. So by doing that, I should be able to throw up Earthblood Deep Well pretty quickly. The limiter is actually going to be my research speed. I'm going to hit Evocation level 4, then I need to hit Construction level 6, and then I need Enchantment level 7, which will take a couple of turns. What I need to do, basically, is you're forging Earth Boots right now. You have a hammer. Who else has a hammer? You have a hammer. Instead of researching, I need you to change shape, and I need you to forge, not that one, Skull Mentors. They cost 10 Death Gems each, or 7 for me. And they give a research bonus of 14. So, we're going to do some forging. We're going to trade some air gems. I am forging some air items, but not many, for death gems. It's a hugely inefficient process, but it's worth it in this case. You're forging Earth Boots with a hammer. I thought I had 3 hammers. Yes, Funny Guy has a hammer because he's forging winged shoes. So, I actually need somebody to be forging more hammers, but that costs Earth Gems that I don't want to spend. So instead, I'm just going to have you also forge a Skull Mentor, which will take 9, or 10. And, oh boy, if I had somebody with a hammer. Okay, instead of the Earth Boots, forge another Champion Skull. That alone will kick my research up very, very significantly. Now it uses up pretty much all of my Death Gems, but I can get Death Gems back. And I don't have anything immediately that I need to be spending Death Gems on. There is a Death income spell called Well of Misery. I forget where it is. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Well of Misery, Conjuration level 8. It gives you 21 Death Gems and increases tax revenue a little bit. It requires Conjuration level 8, though. And it also requires 6 Earth. Or 6 Death, I'm sorry. 6 Death is a little bit trickier to get, to an extent. I mean, I have the Skull Staff. I can also get the Skull Face. That boosts me up to 5. Getting 6 Death will be a little bit of a stretch, possibly. In any case, that's a possibility, but I'm not planning to go down Conjuration. I will want to get to level 7 eventually, so I can throw out Living Earth and Living Fire. But I don't know when I'm doing that. I want to get Earthblood Deep Well first, because if I have, 30 Earth Gems per turn or something like that, then I can just party all day, every day with Earth items, which I can forage for cheap. So that's my current plan. Since Niffleheim is AI, the name of the game is taking as many Niflheimish provinces as possible as quickly as possible. So I'm taking that province with a Buddha, this province with some troops, yeah, with an army. These 4 Buddhas are all moving down here along with Ekvu and one of these Buddhas, Pandu, all moving up here in order to make sure that this province is not retaken by the Gigjas breaking out. There are still a whole bunch of Gigjas in there, but with this force, I think I can stop them. Can you move to him? No, okay. You are just going to stay behind troops because I don't want you killed. With this many Buddhas, I think I can stop him. I've also summoned some Long Dead Horsemen. That was a change I think I did after I ended the episode last turn. Long Dead Horsemen are basically mediocre cavalry, but they don't rout, and they have the undead resistances. They also do have a lance, which gets a charge bonus on the first attack, so that's nice for them. I don't know, I can't give them a formation, unfortunately. Since they don't have any morale, they aren't affected by, the morale penalty for skirmish formation, but I don't want them to skirmish. So, with all of that, including Kibwana and Pandu in their spamming out skeletons, and Mbamba, of course, I think I can stop the Gigjas cold. I think I can just swarm them under with skeletons, if they try to break out. If they don't, then this army will march in here, and we will bust down the fort. It does have 500 wall integrity, and we're breaking it down only very, very slowly, but it won't stop us. Hinnom is fighting Agartha, and interestingly, Agartha has sent out their god. This is a Titan of the Underworld. And we can see here in Klon, he attacked and took out some province defense. If we view the battle, we can see what magic he has. So, this battle was nothing terribly, terribly special. He is a pretender god. He's not blessed because he's... Well, is he in his dominion? I don't think he is. In any case, the Titan of the Underworld is always invisible because he has the Helmet of Invisibility, which also gives him Spirit Sight. That makes him very, very hard to hurt for any units that don't have Spirit Sight, which is most of them. He's also an Assassin, which is an interesting ability. They've cast the Ritual of Returning on him, so if he's badly wounded, he'll instantly zap back to his capital. And he has 5 Earth, 5 Astral, and 3 Death magic. He also has a pair of Boots of Long Strides, which are a real cheap nature item. And he has an Evening Star, which is a very mediocre weapon. I mean, really, there's nothing special about it. It does pretty good damage, and it's magical. And it does drop fire and weakness on an area, so I mean, it's kind of cool. I wouldn't personally necessarily forge it. I mean, I guess I might, but it has a defense penalty, and I don't know. It's not bad. It's not, it's kind of like the Flame Brand, but it does a little bit less damage, and it's a flail, so it has a defense penalty. So for a thug, I wouldn't necessarily use it. But since he's invisible, and he can also etherealize himself and all that stuff, they probably figure he has enough defenses. So we can run through this real quick. He summoned Earth Power, casts Twist Fate, which negates the first strike against him, and then he started spamming skeletons, and the Skeleспam successfully beat up the province defense even before he got involved. He did cast Body Ethereal and Temper Flesh, which makes him take half damage from all normal attacks and gives him fire resistance. So he's very, very tough to kill at this point, but he has a low defense skill. So if you hit him with something that has magic weapons, or, for example, flaming arrows against his protection of 12, he would start taking damage pretty quickly, especially because he's size 6, and so could be targeted directly by archers on fire large monsters. So I'm not scared of him. Tower of Heaven was taken back by like a scout or something, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so I'm just going to be grabbing all these provinces this turn. Hopefully I'll be taking the fort in a couple more turns. And after that, it's a question of strategy. I do need to take this back. I'm recruiting a pack of War Lions here to do that. At that point, the question is who I go after next. Agartha is in trouble with Hinnom invading them. and I have been good buddies all game, so I don't really want to go after them. That said, is really, really big at this point. They have all this land. They're taking more land from Niffleheim, and not only that, they own the entire ocean, pretty much. Agartha has launched an invasion of the ocean. They've attacked one ocean space. But they, as I said, are being invaded by Hinnom. So they're going to lose because they don't have the forces to support this. They'll take some ocean spaces because underwater troops are not particularly good. But I don't know that they can necessarily hold it. Or, I mean, to be fair, they might end up getting pushed off the land into the ocean entirely, which would be fine from my perspective. But I'm starting to get a little bit worried about because has, like, this is 17 provinces of ocean, if I've counted correctly. And on top of that, has all the land. And on land, and I are about the same size. So, big. Now, the saving grace is troops are not particularly good. In particular, you can see here their little horned heads. None of troops wear helmets, which means that it's possible to get them with a headshot with an arrow, or a melee attack for that matter, and they just die. They're size 3, which means humans can strike their head, especially if they have spears like most of my infantry. Magic-wise, has nature, and they have earth. They have a little bit of death, too. Now, has cast the Mother Oak, which gives them an extra 10 nature gems per turn. So they've got nature gems for days, which is a little bit worrying. I actually could cast Mother Oak, I believe. Or no, I haven't finished the research for it. Mother Oak is down Alteration. You have to get up to Alteration level 5, which I will want at some point for Maws of the Earth. But like I said, it's not my immediate goal. So, I could fight him over Mother Oak. I don't really want to, but at the same time, him having all that territory and that extra gem income is a little bit alarming. And nobody's really in a position to fight him right at the moment. Baratos could, but they're fighting Tianxi. I could, but I'm busy taking Niffleheim's provinces. Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting situation. They just took... Did they just take the Gentle Woods? Yeah, they just took Gentle Woods. They suffered some casualties doing it, but they wiped out what was in here. You can definitely see the effects of Niffleheim going AI. His Gigjas were not scripted very well and ended up fatiguing themselves out very, very rapidly. So, yeah, I think might actually end up being my biggest competition in this game, because to be frank, Hinnom has kind of remained contained for a long, long while here. He's got 4, 7, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. He's got 20 provinces and one with a fort under siege. I'm bigger than Hinnom, and I'm going to get bigger very, very rapidly here by taking all of this. And then I'll probably swoop in on Agartha and steal some Agarthan provinces as well, because since Agartha's already in trouble, you know, I may try and see if I can take the Kakavik Highlands. I'll have to double check. I don't remember us having an actual non-aggression pact, but we might. In any case, I'm going to end up bordering Hinnom on two sides, kind of, here. And that's going to be an awkward position to be in. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, this is what's happening this turn. You can see I'm moving all my troops around. I'm moving a commander in here to pick up these pygmies that I've been recruiting. I'm not actually recruiting any more troops here, but I am still recruiting Buddhas. Buddhas here. Also Buddhas down here. And we will see what the future brings pretty soon. I think next turn... Yeah, next turn that fort will be done, and I can start pumping out sages at 1 per turn, which will be great. I've got my skull mentors being forged to boost my research, because right now, what I really, really want is to race through research up to Construction 6 and Enchantment 7 as fast as possible. And my research is still, for this point of the game, my research is abysmal. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. My research is bad. I've been focusing too much on other things and not enough on actually researching spells. So, I need to get that, I need to bust through those 4 levels of research as fast as I possibly can. And we will we'll see what happens in turn 38. Thanks for watching.